everybody, welcome to a new series here on the channel. As Madden 25 of course been out for quite some time now, and we're of course getting ready for this series here. It's a new series, and of course you've seen the hype video. You've seen that it is going to be the Chicago Bears that we're going to be following here and trying to kind of do a rebuild and remaster their franchise, their historical franchise, of course, the famous 85 Bears with the best defense probably of all time. And of course you have a very rich history of the franchise. Of course, personally, I went to Chicago. I've been to Chicago now 4 times now here in the last within the last probably, let's see, the first time was in 2009, the summer of 2009, and then here recently was 2019 I went, 2021 after the pandemic, or of course during the height of the pandemic I went, and then I went again recently just last year for a wrestling show. And the last 3 times were for wrestling shows. The first time was because I was a mentor for a tutoring group that went on a week trip with, and I fell in love with Chicago. I love Chicago. By far, Chicago is probably one of my favorite cities. And the last time I went to Chicago, actually no, the time I went in 2021, when I went there, that was been the 3rd time I've been in Chicago. I went to visit Soldier Stadium, and got to meet some of the people that run the Chicago Bears, and I love the history of it, of the team, especially of the history of the Soldier Field and how it became a stadium, and just the historical relevance of this team and whatnot, and how it has a rich and fond history of the city as well. So originally the series I was going to do for this year, and I talked about this in a past update video. I was going to do a series. I was going to do kind of a, actually, I had no plans really to do a series because I was going to kind of focus on college football. But I feel like it's been a while. We haven't had a really decent series since of course, we're finishing up the Buffalo Bills series there. That's the last series we really played because, Madden 24 I skipped. I didn't play. I didn't buy. Or I did buy, but I bought it when it was dirt cheap. But I decided to not do a series, and I was going to do a series with this game with the Broncos, by far is my second favorite team. As you see here, we're looking at Keenan Allen's numbers like that. But I decided, let's do the Bears. The reason why I want to do the Bears because they got some young players. They got a lot of young players here. They got some really good veterans like Keenan Allen here, who are going to be a huge difference maker for this team. And I think the culture of this team is different. No more, Fields no longer with us. He's with Pittsburgh now, and of course they got Caleb Williams, who I followed somewhat of college football the last 2 seasons with him and what he can do on the field, and I think that struck me the reason why I wanted to do the Bears so bad, besides being in that stadium before and knowing the history of the team and stuff like that, but I think it was because maybe they got me, but I think it was because of the most recent series of Hard Knocks and just what that coach is all about, and what he wants to do with the culture of that team, and knows his team could be brought back to those days of glory and days of the Bears just really on top of of the football world. I really feel like that, and the Bears got a good team. You got Jaylon Johnson, who of course was ironically enough, he was one of our Buffalo Bills players that we ended up getting from the Bears in a trade. DJ Moore, of course, a former Panther, and of course now with the Bears here, and he's a veteran. And of course, I want to stick a lot of these young guys that we have here and put them right on the field, from game one. But also have that mixture of some veterans out there that can help us out. A couple of veterans have the tag of being a mentor to some of the younger players there, which is great. But yeah, I don't know, just something about this team, just it screamed like, hey, do a rebuild or franchise or whatever you want to call it type of series, and it got me. DeAndre Swift, another one of my I love my halfbacks, I love my running backs, and DeAndre Swift, one of those players there that I really enjoy watching see him play and what he does there on the field. And of course, with the halfbacks, you kind of have a short window with them, and so eventually we're going to try to bring in somebody in there to help us out in that backfield as well. We like, for me, I try to switch out halfbacks every 2 or 3 seasons. Have them for a season, have them for 3 seasons, and then okay, let's get somebody else in there now. Find somebody else, younger that can go in there, because halfbacks are a dime a dozen. You can find a half a dozen halfbacks out there that can do some work here, and like I said, I have some plans for that position as well. Of course, Montez Sweat, I think last time we seen him, I think in a series I had with him, I think it was with the Cowboys. I think we had him on our Cowboys squad there. But he's with the Bears, and of course he's on that other end of his career. But he can still ball out there, y'all. He can. He's definitely one of those. He's not a huge threat of a defensive end, but he could definitely ruin your day if he does get a hold of you. So Montez Sweat, there you see him. Another one. There you see Edmonds, one of our other players that was from the Buffalo Bills series that we actually we kept hold of him. I think we kept hold of him, as I think about it. But now he is with the Bears in real life, and there you see his numbers. And of course, he is going to be one of those role players to help us out there in the linebacker position. He's, if I remember correctly, I think we moved him from middle linebacker to outside linebacker, and he did pretty well there. So we'll try to see if that'll be the case here coming up in this series, as well as that's a position that we're looking at to change. And of course, Cole Kmet. There you see his numbers, a star player, and of course, I love my tight ends. Love throwing them. I love making them big and bad stars, and they're going to be really cool. Now, also too, just like in the Buffalo Bills series, we will have a connection with our franchise, or with our franchise here on this channel, I should say our Dynasty on this channel with the college football series, and that'll be with college football 25 and the Highland Scotties. So you'll see some of the Highland Scotties players in this series. I'm thinking about possibly using a real life draft class that I can find out there. So if you guys know of a real life draft class that I can download, let me know down in the description or in the comment section down below of what the draft class that I need to download that's legitimate, pretty close to the real thing, because I know a lot of people work hard on those, but I want to find something that's close to that. If not, then we'll just use our fictitious players, and we'll just I've been making a draft class up for our Highland Scotties players that we left off with in the series there with the Bills. So of course we won't see Hunter Cannon or any of those guys there we've seen in that series, but we'll see some of the newer Highland Scotty players that we're wrapping up there towards the end. You'll see some of those in this series as well, and also I'm working on possibly bringing some other characters as well that draft classes that I've been kind of working on, with the idea of them being like from like Division II schools and stuff like that. So I have some different ideas for it. But there you see Caleb Williams. He's, of course, this is one of the other big things I want to do. Is I never used a rookie quarterback. In this case, we have a rookie quarterback and a rookie wide receiver that we are going to have to try to make them as stars. And of course, as you take here, look here, they did something new here in this game where you can strengthen the draft classes, so you can make everyone strong or weak or whatever position you want the draft classes to be. You can do that, which I think is really cool. I'm using Octagonal Gaming, I think that's his name, here on YouTube. I've been following him for a while now, and he has a pretty realistic slider progression regression set that I'm using. But I'm also using Mat 10 sliders for gameplay. So Octi out there, much love to you, brother. I'm loving his KU Jayhawks Dynasty there on his channel. A lot of fun watching that. But I'm using his XP sliders and his pretty much a lot of stuff he's using in his. So it's gonna be really similar how the players are gonna be progressing and regressing in that game. More really, I want to see more of our rookies that coming out of the draft be huge stars and do great things. And then of course, if you're older, you're older guy, you start regressing something, not more faster, but more. So we're trying to push more of the younger younger superstars out there, and just see some growth and development for those players. So I cannot wait for that to kick in and get that going. As you see some upgrades here, I went ahead and we're going to start the next episode right at week 1. So we will be facing against the Titans in week 1. I've already got that one played, and actually I got several of them played as I'm recording this. Actually, I got several recorded, so I'm trying to figure out what day of the week this series will be on. I'm thinking more of a Tuesday, maybe Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday series here on the main channel. But again, that can always definitely change depending on excuse me, what's going on in my life and what's going on with just life in general. But yeah, we got 2 rookies that we got to produce, try to do well and produce some content out of. And I think with Caleb, I think it's gonna be a really fun series with him, because he's our go-to. He's gonna be our quarterback here. Now, will we look for another quarterback? Not going to this in the second season 2, but probably going to season 3. We'll probably be looking for somebody that can compete with him and do maybe not as good as him, but on that level, getting close to that level as him. But yeah, for the most part here, I think this is gonna be a fun series. I will say that we are gonna speed this series up quite a bit. We're gonna do traditional gameplay like we normally do, but when we played against the Packers, Vikings, and Lions, the first time we play against them, regardless if it's home or away, we will play that game like we normally would. But when we have to play them a second time, regardless home or away, we'll play the moments. So we'll do that in an episode. So sometimes some of those episodes when we play the moments, we might showcase that game as well as the next week's game as well. So we might have 2 games in one video. I'm kind of doing that here. I see that's kind of popular here on YouTube, but that's something I'm kind of looking at and possibility for the future for other series as well. So yeah, I cannot wait to start this Bears franchise. Like I said, I just watching Hard Knocks and really liking the team that they got together, and especially the coach. I kind of believe into what he is saying, and I feel like that can be that team can do something. This is something that's special coming up this season. But we'll see how things go, and like I said, it's gonna be a lot of fun. I cannot wait to see what we can do with these Bears. The Bears. By the way, there is of course, a series that's within the series. It's called the Bears. This one's called the Bear Down Podcast, and basically it's like any other show that we had with any other franchise. Last season we had the Buffalo Bills, so we had the Buffalo Bills sit down. This one is the Bear Down Podcast, which will be our front office talking about the team, what we're kind of moves we're going to try to make, what I would on my mind of what I want to do with the team, as well as we'll of course take a look at stats, scores around the league, and of course take a look at more of the player development for some of these players here, as well as once we get down further later on in the series or later on in the season, we'll take a look at the draft classes and seeing what they are doing and what they're who we're going to be looking at in the draft and why. So That's a series within a series there, and of course I'm pretty sure you've seen the hype video already for it. But yeah, that'll be coming up during our bye weeks that we have, and of course throughout, we sprinkle out throughout the season whenever I feel like we need to have a video up about something that's going on with the team, like any trades or any changes to the team. So, but that's it for me, you guys. As always, if you guys enjoyed today's content, hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe. I cannot wait to get this series going here. Like I said, I took a year off of Madden, playing Madden. Now we're back here with Madden 25. I know there's some, again, some weird things going on with the game, but I've kind of tweaked them enough where I think I can handle it's tolerable. Let's put it that way. So again, if you guys have anything, any ideas, suggestions, or anything for the series, let me know down below in the comment section. But hit us up on social media. It's down there in the description, as well as hit us up on the second channel over on ESGNet Plus LP, and of course Twitter. You can always find us there and leave your comments there as well. But that's it for me. As always, guys, keep yourselves healthy. Bear down, Chicago fans. We're gonna try to bring home a Super Bowl to you guys. You have not been to the Super Bowl since 2006, and you have not won it since 1985. So it's been a long time waiting. But we'll see if we can. We'll see if we can bring home a Super Bowl, and see if we can bring back that Super Bowl shuffle back to Chicago in this series. But again, keep yourselves healthy, and I will see you all next time.